Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video. And for the month of September, a couple weeks ago, we got the final free login Rimuru, and it happened to be the original Dark 1.0 Rimuru. He was the final banner, I think, for the Dark 1.0 meta, which was the first full month of the game. So he came out in November of 2022. So he is just about OG release as you can get without actually being OG release. And he was given away for free this month. And he also has a skill fusion, which we're not going to do because he's just not good because he's so friggin' old. But he is dark, he is magic, he's on 5 different teams: Octagram, Demon Lord, She's Will, Commander, Tempest Elite, and Prosper. Tempest Elite being a physical team means he doesn't really work that well. Prosper really only works with Earth and Fire. Commander is a physical-focused team. Shizu's Will does not have a true leader yet. And Octagram Demon Lord also doesn't truly have a specific leader. It has a lot of sub-leaders, these units also get stats and can get the stacks of protectors and stuff, but it's not the focus of the team. So he doesn't really have a good place to be right now, but you can really put him anywhere because he's not anything but quote-unquote damage. He's an AoE ult, which he's an old character, so his ult is horribly weak. And his skill, Unfused, is guaranteed crits for himself and 15% crit damage for 2 turns. The crit rate is only 1 turn, though, which I find hilarious, because it's okay, you get 15% crit damage for double the amount of time you actually have crits. Sure, alright. If you were to fuse him, it turns it into a guaranteed crit and for 30%, and it's all for 3 turns, so it makes a little bit more sense. But 130 right here is still not very good, because it is just for himself. Yeah, it doesn't add it to the team or anything like the Anniversary Rimuru that we also got for free a couple months ago, who I think is just better than this Rimuru in every way. His second skill gives everybody stun evasion, which if it's upgraded to level 10, it's guaranteed, and then increases blue orb damage by 10% for 1 turn. So he's not good. He's not a good character to invest in. But because he was given away for free, I'm going to try to show him off in places where he can be shown off. And we'll call this video a wrap after that. Okay, we're going to attempt to run this team. We're going to go into the Protectors of Peace beatdown battle, but only EX1 or something like that. Or maybe even lower, because I'm not confident in this guy's damage. We're going to run the Dark First Anniversary Protector Veldora. He is geared towards a green magic team, which this Rimuru is magic. Idol Shuna for the ult swap and synergy power, because she gives it to magic allies. Rimuru's magic. Octagram Lumi, this double skill fuse, it's AoE damage and permanent ult. Veldora for the orb change and green buff. Rimuru for the DPS, quote-unquote, and then Milim for her skill fusion gives Dark Allies 25% attack, gives temporary ult buff, and is a special converter for orbs, so she can handle turn 1 as well. If we need to, we'll just take out Idol Shuna for another orb changer, probably Trya, if things really don't go that well. I'll give it a few runs and find out first. Okay, so I did actually make the change. I did swap out Shuna for Trya, because we just needed some more orb changing here. We don't need to alt swap. This is not an EX-filled team. In fact, this is no EX characters whatsoever. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be pretty honest with you. This Rimuru is shit. There's just no other way to put it. He came out within the first month of the game. We don't use Diablo. We don't use Veldora. We don't use him. And the only reason we use Dark Milim still to this day is because of her trait. Otherwise, she doesn't see the front line at all. These are very, very early characters who have been horribly power crept out 2 years ago, much less September of 2024. So the fact that we got him for free, yeah, is cool and everything. And if you needed a dark AoE character, well, we got that earlier with First Anniversary Rimuru, who is just a much better version of this Rimuru. His second skill, while still gimmicky, is at least useful in certain scenarios. I don't know of any place where I need to stun dodge at this point. Maybe Master Conquest versus the Golem and the Orc, but it's like, if you have an EX team at all, if you have one EX character, that's those stages are shit. So we don't need his stun dodge. We don't need his blue damage for anything. And then his crit skill, especially if he's not skill fused like mine is, it's pretty abysmal. Guaranteed crits for 1 turn, but 15% crit damage for 2 turns makes 0 sense. I don't know what they were thinking there. Yeah, it's awful. So we're going to go through this entire fight. We're going to go to turn 8 and let their defenses fall off and let the ult resistance that Ninehead has fall off. And we're going to do a full power nuke. We're going to get 80% ult damage and 30% AoE from Lumi. We're going to get the 70% temporary ult buff from Milim and the 25% attack from Milim. We're going to get guaranteed crits and 15% crit damage in a stage that allows you to crit. And we're going to have a 70% magic buff from a fully built up Protector Veldora. And then we're just going to giggle so much at the amount of damage that he does. Which, to be fair, at a 270% multiplier, it isn't going to be a lot to begin with. Right? The AoE characters nowadays, they're doing a lot more than that. Let me pull up a EX character right now and just kind of take a look at what they can do. So let's pick out Sokka, and she's doing 320%, 300% if she was not maxed out. So Rimuru is doing 270, right? So he's 30% less, but he does not have an EX ult. So what makes AoE characters good is that they have double the power if they do an EX ult. Rimuru does not have access to that. He's just forever stuck at 270%. And that's why at the beginning of the game, and up until they started really pushing AoE teams, AoEs were just the laughingstock of the game. If you were an AoE character, you were pretty much guaranteed to be crap for the first year, almost a year of the game, until Space 2.0 came out with Leon and Belzard and Rain and Misery. Up until that point, it was single targets or nothing, because you just didn't do the damage that we needed units to do. You were eternal support, or you were just straight trash. So this Rimuru, being the first month of the game, was straight trash. I don't think I have recorded summons for him. And if I do, it's... No, I think I do on the channel somewhere. I think it's Veldora that I don't have summons for. Okay, so we're on turn 5. Obviously, we've had ults for him, and we're going to send them. We have no way to store them and hold them for later use, and I want to send full Hands of Greens just to get points. So we will turn the animation on when we get to turn 8. But even from these normal ults that we have been sending that have slight damage increases from Veldora, they're not doing a lot. And by slight, I mean Veldora's buff, the permanent ult damage, and the permanent AoE damage. So we are pushing our damage higher and higher as we go. But here he does 40k against Adelman, who doesn't have any resistance. He has extra defense, yeah, sure. But like Ninehead has ult resistance right now. Yeah, he still has that up. So we do less than that. They have magic resistance. Okay, awesome, I see that. Which I don't think that falls off at all. So him being in the stage already is fairly nerfed because of magic resistance up. But this is only EX1. This isn't like Inferno 3 or something. And there's no other stage I can really take Rimuru into that is tailor-made for him. Because he's an AoE. He's a dark character. There's not a lot of light stages to use him where we need an AoE. So this is the best I could come up with. So here, I think we're just going to go ahead and send it. And I'm checking to see our stacks. We are maxed out on the the ult damage. We just need one more stack of the AoE, and now Lumi's job is done. And we just need to burn this turn and next turn. So we're gonna, I think, send him away. Or we're gonna send everything. One of the two. Okay. I think we're actually gonna leave him in and just send this, because we should get another one off of these orbs. So yeah, we'll bring Milim in. We'll send all of this damage. We'll use just the orb change after we reset it with Veldora. And now that we're capped out, the only thing we're missing now is the crit and the ult and the attack buff, which is half of our damage, right? So what do we do here? Click the button. Click the button. What am I waiting for? 44k from Lumi. Rimuru. 65 on the crit, otherwise it's about the same, if not less. And then Milim does 43k in her single target. Okay. Well, I think this is going to be the only clip we show, because honestly, I wouldn't build him. I know we got him for free, and that's great. Free units are always cool, but he serves almost zero purpose for new players. I'd rather use a free-to-play character. Quite honestly. This Rimuru has zero... I would rather bring Traya. I would rather bring Exalted Champion Veldora. I'd rather bring Isis. I'd rather bring free-to-play Aaron. I'd bring Rieger or Geld over this Rimuru on any team, because he is supposed to be the quote-unquote DPS, but he's not DPSing for anything for shit. And he doesn't help anybody else on the team either. He's just kind of a wasted slot. So, no. You got him for free. Cool. Let him sit at level 1 in your box. Don't invest any precious skill enhancements into him. Just because he has a skill fusion doesn't mean you should skill fusion, even which you can't do anyways because you need him at level fucking 100 to do that in the first place. I don't recommend either of those things. Don't put dupes into him. Don't skill fuse him. Don't give him motes. Just let him exist. He's way too old to make an impact on anything at this point. So we're about to get the 3rd anniversary in just over a month from now. Don't spend unnecessary things on this poor guy. So here we have the maxed out ult, we have the maxed out AoE, guaranteed crit, the 70% extra ult damage plus the attack buff because Milim is skill fused. We're going to give all dark allies 25% attack. And then we have now the 70% magic buff. So let's turn the animation on because this is his nuking ult. And we'll go ahead and send all this. And what do we get? Put your guesses in now, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, whatever you're thinking, it's worse. Oh, boy. Oh. Alright. Good job. 155,000 damage. We didn't even kill. We didn't even kill anybody. And yes, they do have magic resistance again. If they didn't have that, we probably would have done about 200k. Maybe a bit more than that. It's still not great for the amount of support that we're actually giving him. Actually, no, they don't have any magic resistance. Hold on. No, that's just flat out. Please, hold on, let me rewind that. Oh no, they don't have any magic resistance. I'm talking out my ass. They're just terrible. Okay, well. That is his capped out damage on this team. Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about him any more than what we have already. There's no point. We were able to kill that stage with the follow-up orbs, but Dark Rimuru, not something you should invest your time and energy and resources into. But hopefully you found this video informative. It's mainly just a shitpost, but hey, we got him for free. I'm obligated to show you how he performs, and his performance is terrible. So hopefully you enjoyed that. That's it from me. Take it easy, and I will see you all later.